phone.
Let's try that again. Sorry about that brief delay. All right, now the mic seems to be working. I don't know what happened there, but the mic seemed like it didn't want to work for a second. But welcome, everyone, to another night of NGS action. I am still waiting for the invite to the lobby, but my name is Isaacs. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're all having a fun time here so far. We have an epic matchup tonight in Division C West between the TRSG Knights. Oh, there's my invite. And the Trash Pandas. It's going to be a fun matchup between these two teams. Looking at Division C West standings right now, both these teams are sitting toward the bottom of the pack, but they still have playoff implications on the line. Both teams looking to get those points. I believe if Trash Pandas win this, they jump all the way up from 12th to 8th place, putting them in the spot for some playoff potential. Meanwhile, TRSG Knights, they're in that 9 spot. A win here would get them bumped up a few more spots, and ultimately seeding is what we're looking for with these two teams. So we're trying to get each team scrounging for points. We are in week 7, so only a few more weeks left to go, and both these teams looking to get their season turned around and move up in the standings, get a few of those sweet points. Let's take it over to the map overview so you can see kind of what's going on so far. So Trash Pandas ended up winning the coin toss, and they wanted first hero pick. That means, I didn't put in the map we were going to, because I was actually never told we were going. But they wanted to go with first hero pick. That means TRSG Knights, they got to pick the map. They went with Towers of Doom. The bans for tonight are going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen and Infernal Shrines, banned out by TRSG Knights. Trash Pandas went ahead and banned out Alterac Pass and Cursed Hollow. And so that is where we're going to be headed for Towers of Doom. I always kind of like it when Towers of Doom starts off the night, because it can really set the tone for the rest of the series. Towers of Doom, known for that, it can go all the way down to the wire kind of a map. Has the implication for the comeback potential, and can also, it's usually in like those long best of 5 series. If it's the map number 3, can be like the start of the reverse sweep, being that momentum shift. But when it starts off as the map, it can kind of set the tone for the rest of the series. So oftentimes when Towers of Doom is that first map that is picked up, it can be a real series tone setter. So both teams going to be itching to get the win here on Towers of Doom to start off their match in the right way. Looking at these pools, I know both of these teams. At least I know the players on both these teams. I've casted TRSG Knights a couple times throughout their seasons, so I definitely recognize a lot of their players. Meanwhile, on the side of Trash Pandas, I recognize a lot of the players, don't necessarily recognize a lot of the names, but a lot of names, don't recognize the name as Trash Pandas. Maybe they were playing around in a season before. I'm not entirely sure, but it's going to be kind of fun looking at how these teams are going to go approach each other. They've got plenty of weeks of research on each other, so we might see some target bans coming out or see some meta bans. Towers of Doom, often known as one of those siege potential maps, so it's going to definitely have the ability to shut that down. Looking at those siege champions like Anubarak, Sylvanas, Li Ming, all being able to be pulled out here or be banned away. Tank pool, Diablo is definitely favored on this map, has the ability to put down a lot of pain with all of these walls and tight corridors. This map really emphasizes the team fighting aspect. Not a lot of macro play on this map. More of the team fighting is what's going to win you the game. So we'll see if the teams elect to focus the team fighting aspect of the champion pools rather than the overall global. But you can see global pressure. Falstad is a very high pickup on this map. The Haka Brightwing can also be picked up as well to lend a helping hand to that double soaking offlaner. So we'll see where these two teams elect to put a lot of their resources in the pick and ban aspect of the game. Everybody just slowly trickling in as the night goes on. It is still pretty early. I don't typically cast this early. I usually cast around 8 o'clock, so all the people usually trickle in around that point. to get people coming in. But Asmodan and Zul'jin, first two bans coming in from either side. Zul'jin going to be that strong team fighting champion, get the stacks going. Asmodan definitely favored in the late game, especially if he goes that demonic invasion build, can really single-handedly control the opposing team's structures by himself, doesn't need any help, so it can be a terror to deal with in the late game if you fall behind on structure control. Chromie, gonna be banned out. The Sands can be an absolutely game-changing ultimate to throw down in the middle of a team fight around a lot of these objectives. So Chromie not gonna be able to put down a lot of the pain here on a map like Towers of Doom. Also puts out a fair amount of spell damage with that Q-piercing Sands at level 18. So we're gonna have to not deal with it in this map. Sorry, I literally just ran in from work, so I'm still like dressed for work. I'm not dressed for casting at all. I do apologize for that. There was a little bit of traffic on the road, so I was like, well, I'll just go in this and change afterwards. But Johanna, gonna be the final ban out from TRSG Knights. That leaves Nazeebo open, and it is locked almost instantly by Cortezel. Or Cortezel. Is that an O or an A? That's an O. Cortezel. Gonna be able to pick up the Nazeebo. Got a lot of buffs to his early game. His late game didn't really take much of a hit, and his early game got a little bit stronger. So Nazeebo, a lot less of a crutch in the early game than he used to be. Could scale a lot better into that late game Nazeebo. That is such a terrifying champion. But there are the globals, and coming out strong from TRSG. We got the Brightwing and the Dahaka picked up both by Cherglu and Thana. So you got a double global. You're gonna have to get a strong double soaker here. Looking at champions that can rotate really fast. Zul, Diva, maybe even Malthael to deal with the Dahaka, but they're gonna hold on to it. They're gonna pick up the Stitches and the Vala by Xenozender and GG Valera. Valera. I don't know how you spell that. I wonder if it's supposed to just be the Valera. Second ban phase coming out for both teams. Looking at probably a healer ban here. Maybe an offlaner ban. Dahaka wanted to try to get some favorable matchup. Maybe he doesn't want to go get something, but it's going to be the Malfurion. I was curious if they're going to get rid of the Anduin for the potential kidnap comp with the Stitches. Stitches being able to throw the Gorge down, and then Anduin be able to yeet him all the way back and get, whatever target gets hooked. But going to go with the Malfurion, who does have very strong team fighting presence. So if you're going more for the team fight, not so much worried about the hook, then you definitely can see the focus on the Malfurion over the Anduin ban there. Meanwhile, Trash Pandas gonna go with the Nova ban. Really interesting there. I have no idea if anybody on TRSG knows how to play Nova really well, but we're not gonna find out this game. May gonna be picked up by the Duke. That Duke. The last need both the Assassin and the Flex player to come in here. Need something strong percent-wise to deal with Stitches, or we can just go a lot of bursts and try to blow down any target that May decides to call out. May even see an Avalanche May here with the Sylvanas being able to group everybody up, use the Dahaka AoE and the Sylvanas blow up from Howland Knight. And now we're going to see Trash Pandas pick up that double healer and the double soaker and the healer. I really want to see the Anduin here. Like, this is screaming Anduin for me. And there it is. Cyan reading my mind. Anduin picked up, and Zul, called them both. Zul, the double soaking, like one of the best quick double soakers you can get on this map to match the Dahaka. And Anduin really strong with the Stitches. Being able not only to eat him back, but also light bomb him. So when he does finally spit out that Gorge target, it gets thrown out into a stun. Vala and Nazeebo gonna have no problem blowing up that target, but Junkrat picked up by Pink Blackout, gonna round out the composition for TRSG Knights. And there you have it, folks. Both teams locked in. I like the global pressure coming in from TRSG, but I really like this kidnap comp setup. They have the burst damage to execute. Now it just comes down, can Stitches land the hooks? And here we go into game number 1, TRSG versus Trash Pandas. Gonna be exciting. Definitely think the double soaking is pretty even now. Brightwing is gonna have the option to roam up into the mid lane to try and put the pressure into both lanes with Dahaka and Brightwing. Force Zool to get behind, and that'll also give Dahaka priority over the top siege camp if they wanted to go that way. Don't know if they necessarily want to focus that, but we'll see how they decide to play it. Getting these teams introduced on the blue side, we got TRSG Knights. We got Thana on the Dahaka, the Duke on May, Cheraglu sitting on the Brightwing, Pink Blackout on that Junkrat, and Howlin' Knight on the Sylvanas. Meanwhile, on the red side, we got your Trash Pandas. We got Cortezel on the Nazebo, Xenia on that Zool, Gigi Valera on the Vala, Xenozender on the Stitches. We got Cyan sitting on the Anduin.
5, 4, 3, 2.
This is where I pick Greater Polymorph to troll my friends and tilt our coach later. Into the mid lane, both these teams go. 5-on-5 so far showing. Nazebo wanted to get those spider stacks. Vala trying to stack up the W. Gonna be able to put down a lot of AoE damage for the team fights. Not gonna have the biggest burst with that the Q build would be able to provide, but gonna be able to put down more sustained damage in these team fights and a bigger AoE burst if the enemy team doesn't recognize it and group up. Got some pings going down, maybe looking for a little cheeky gank here. Stitch is sitting in the bushes, gets a slam out, tries to get the hook, does catch Cheraglu. Brightwing getting low, Vala vaulting forward, but Anduin does not land the stun, so everybody's just going to roam themselves back. Nice hook from Stitches so far. And the Nazebo Spider's continuing to hit the Brightwing here, so big damage coming out. It is Junkrat going to sit in the middle, not Brightwing. And now Junkrat's going to rotate down, trying to get the little bit of the XP advantage. Vala going to go to the mid lane to try and soak it up. Not miss much experience, isn't going to do so. And Junkrat going to rotate down to the bot lane. And we're getting ready for the potential first objective. Each team picking up their camp. Junkrat just laughing away fiendishly. Love it. That's one of the best part about having a Junkrat on the map. You just hear his giggles all the time. Camps picked up, one each on the side. Not really any contention over the opposing team's camp. Not seeing Stitches throw any hooks around yet. Trying to get some of these sweet, sweet picks, but Junkrat's still sitting in the mid. And this is allowing the side of Trash Pandas to get a little bit of push. They got all their minions in. Zool did go down to Dahaka one-on-one in the top lane. So that is going to be big soak coming in for TRSG. But the rest of the team from Trash Pandas trying to push out this bot lane. Now Vala rotating to the mid, doesn't want to miss that soak. Zool's going to have to get back to the top lane. Doesn't need any help with the soak. We'll be able to get back there in the time. Junkrat landing the root onto the Stitches, but that allows Howlin' Knight to get the passive onto this bottom tower and start sieging it off. Everybody else cutting off the press, May and Brightwing. Sylvanas backing yourself off here. So now we've got this side of Trash Pandas a little bit out of their element, a little out of rotation here. Zool going down does allow the lanes to slowly get out of control. Gonna have to slowly build it back here for this first objective. In the objective fight in the early game, I definitely have to give the nod to TRSG. The Zebo just needs a little bit more time to stack to get valuable. The hook being thrown down onto the May. Anduin gets the root as well, but Brightwing able to just use the passive to get May out of that root. Zool gonna go back to the double soak, gonna start pushing that mid lane out. It's a gentleman's agreement in the top lane. In the bot lane, we got a big root going down onto Sylvanas, but Dahaka going to make the early transport in, and this is where the global advantage, this is a huge. Stitches actually gets the hook to save Anduin there. Brightwing teleporting herself in, and now the delay is on. Zool's actually coming down, Thana taking a lot of damage here, gets the heal. Vala vaulting forward, trying to get in, but May is going to shut that down, gets the blind, and that is going to be kill going over. Howlin' Knight caught in the zombie wall will be traded away here, and Zool trying to get the finishing touches on the main. 300 health, 100. Big polymorph coming in from the Brightwing is going to negate that, and actually a huge tongue from the Dahaka. Going to secure that kill. Zool going to go down. It's a 2-for-1 trade, and the bottom objective was channeled for TRSG Knights, so they do get the bottom objective here as well. So 2 shots to 1. Nazebo did get quite a bit of spider stacking going on there. Going to be able to get a little bit more damage as this game progresses. But still a really, really good pickup for TRSG, and I gave the nod to them in the early game. That is definitely them shining in the early game, having the Dahaka to just get in much faster than the Zool. Vala getting a little greedy with the vault forward. I saw the play trying to get that blow up onto that solo Sylvanas. They eventually did get them to fall, but cost their own life. Mei actually looking for a counter engager. Catches the Anduin, so it is a stun, and here comes the burst damage. Anduin's gonna go down, and that is what happens when you land that stun with this Sylvanas Junkrat combo. They can burst down that target easy peasy. And Junkrat immediately going back to the mid lane. Stitches throwing this hook down onto the Mei, not necessarily the target he wants to focus, but gonna try and pull it in. Nazebo will eventually get scaled up that they will be able to start chunking through the Mei. Has 3 of the spider talents already selected, so going heavily into this Q build. Anduin has gotten back, but the objectives are in the top lane and everybody roaming up. Stitch is gonna try and zone off the Mei. Mei sitting fairly low, gonna need to tap before a fight, but it looks like either team is really upset about giving these up, and both teams gonna get a channel off a piece and go back to soaking. Brightwing already in the bot lane to get some of that soak. Sylvanas gonna go down, help with the fast push, shut all these minions down. And the rest of the team coming in from Trash Pandas. So 10s are online now for the side of TRSG Knights. Blink Heal picked up by Brightwing. It is the Ice Wall by the Mei. It's going to be the adaptation from the Dahaka. So Dahaka going to be able to get that massive spike heal. It's got to make sure he does not die during that period. It is the Riptire by the Junkrat, and the Mind Control by the Brightwing. 10's right around the corner for Trash Pandas. Nobody on the side of TRSG trying to force with their 10s, so 10s are now online. Stitches has the Gorge. We do see the Skeletal Mages coming in for the Zool. Everybody else holding on to their ultimates for now. It is going to be the Gargantuan picked up by the Nazebo here. Stitches looking to maybe get the Gorge on Daka, not going to pull the trigger. Throws the hook out, does not find it. It is going to be the Holy Word of Salvation picked up by Anduin, so not going to go with the Light Bomb. And Vala going to pick up the Rain of Vengeance. But up in the mid lane, or between the two lanes, a little bit of skirmish breaking out. Mei getting fairly low, but not going to go down. Stitch is throwing out the hook, does not catch the Sylvanas. Dahaka is able to get the objective up in the top lane. Zool a little bit low, not going to be able to contest this. And this is actually really good positioning for TRSG. They've got the minions in the top lane. Zool's not even going to contest it, so those 3 minions are going to get in no problem at all. Zool's coming down already for the fight. Dahaka can just teleport himself in. So if TRSG just delays, they're just like, you know what? We'll just poke around on this middle objective. Nope, Dahaka is in. He's already come down. We've got a split focus from both these teams over the objectives. Zool trying to channel off, but Junkrat going to interrupt it. Meanwhile, they've gotten off the objective in the bottom. Dahaka trying to get the tongue, does not connect. The root goes down. Thana getting low, gets the root as well. Brightwing teleporting in on the Junkrat. Ice Wall going onto the Vala. A big zombie wall catches Stitches and Dahaka together. But Dahaka gets gorged and is going to go back. The Mind Control misses, so he's going to get Dahaka back under tower here. Zool getting fairly low. The hook does miss. Holy Word of Salvation being thrown out by the Anduin here, and now they're looking to re-engage. Find the Brightwing, but she blink heals away from that zombie wall. Sylvanas getting the interrupt. Here comes TRSG now on the counter engage. Zool trying to get the channel off in the mid lane, but Sylvanas is there to make sure that doesn't happen. Stitch is still throwing out the hooks. Everybody's split, but the resources are running out on the side of Trash Pandas. Cortizel getting caught out by the Mei. Nice knockback. The Polymorph goes down, but he does not get stunned. A huge Rain of Vengeance, but Dahaka lives. That Junkrat will not finish off Cortizel. Brightwing going to teleport in on Thana. And now it looks like TRSG are in the driver's seat. Zool is trying to catch up here. Junkrat did get hooked in the bot lane. It is just all over the place right now for these two teams. Spread out over this double objective. Stitches gets the slam to get the interrupt. Vala did get all the way back and is now running back to the fight. Stitches landing the hook, gets another Gorge. This fight's been going on so long. Gorge is up off cooldown, and it's on to Dahaka again. The burn is there. Zool trying to come in. The root lands. Will this be the first death? No. Ice Wall is back up too. This is insane. The Riptire coming back out. Second round of ultimates. The first one wasn't good enough. Nazebo trying to get the channel off, but Brightwing's going to interrupt that. Vala trying to get it off, but doesn't get it. Vala's already out of mana again. Dahaka trying to get in there. But Vala going to get the return damage onto the Dahaka. gets rooted out there. Finally, the first channel goes through. Nazebo gets that one, and now the fight is in the mid lane. Thana getting low. The Spiderlings trying to chase, not going to get it because of the blink heal. And Vala going to try and get the channel off here. Believes she is going to get this one. Everybody's sitting so low. Nobody's in position. So Trash Panda somehow come away with that marathon. This fight started when Trash Pandas hit 10. They are level 12 and a half now. That had to have been one of the longest objective fights I think I've seen on an altar phase for the map of Towers of Doom. My oh my. But a big win for Trash Pandas, getting both the channels off. And now both teams going to go back to this bot lane. Neither picked up 28 to 24 in the objective so far. And both these teams just going to try and siege it out here. Vala's up to 38 stacks. The hook almost landing. It is level 13, so that is the fishing hook. The extended range is available for Stitches. Can really start throwing him out and seeing what he can find. And Junkrat getting very low. The Nazebo Spiders are definitely hurting. The Ice Wall catches the Nazebo. The Blizzard goes down, but a big three-man slam from the Stitches. The mind control onto the Stitches. Sun going down to Mei. The stoppable pop, but Sylvanas getting pulled away into the backline. She goes. The boop onto the Stitches. Banshee thrown out by Howlin' Knight, but the slam going to slow her down. Will get the kill. Not quite, but Brightwing got hooked out, and that will be a kill going over to the Trash Pandas. And the siege is now on. These death timers are low. Vala got the interrupt onto Howlin' Knight there, so they can continue the siege in the bot lane. And Trash Panda's showing some life after that fight. Starting the siege off, Stitches missing that hook, but the siege can still continue. Nazebo getting booped all the way back. May try to get in, but the Anduin is able to land the yeet. A big root zombie wall combo there, and Junkrat goes down, and this siege can continue here. 6 seconds on the objective. And Trash Pandas doing an excellent job of staggering these deaths. Brightwing just now getting online. Nazebo going to start the channel. But the siege ain't over in this bot lane. Kills now 4 to 3. Levels 15 apiece. 4 shots again going in favor of the Trash Pandas. 28 to 20 on the structures. And we'll see if the Stitches can keep landing some of these hooks. Trying to position themselves. Looking for the Brightwing. Gets the slam into the bush, checking for potential play from the Dahaka here. Maybe he thought he heard the growl. And then thought, nope, you know, I'm just going crazy. They're playing Ring Around the Rosie up here around the Skeletal Mages. Dahaka's like, I can play this game. Zool trying to get himself away, but meanwhile, down in the bot lane, Brightwing has gotten eaten. The Ice Wall goes down, catches the Stitches, the Blink goes off, the Gargantuan is in the wall, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the stunned going down, and that will be the end of all of that. Got a follow coming in from Obelisk. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Sorry it's such a quiet night, but do appreciate the follows. Welcome to the channel, hope you're having a fun time. Coming in with the first chat, go Pandas! Coming in from Obelisk, love to hear it. And everybody kind of just going back to doing their own thing. Vala gonna go ahead and try and pick up this objective here. Getting a few more people trickling in as the night continues. Camps being picked up. 1 apiece so far. May getting the hook. Stitches 4-man slam. That is a big slam coming in from the Stitches here. The Trash Pandas slowly, steadily starting to put their foot on the gas here. We're only a little bit over the speed limit so far, but they're trying to create a lot more pressure, and this is a big objective phase coming online.
Take the altars and put in
Gonna be a gentleman's agreement. Dahaka gonna be able to teleport himself in. The fight's gonna be over this one objective. The bot, the Ice Wall goes down. It does catch the Vala. The engage is around the polymorph. The mind control does miss, so Vala is able to get away. Howlin' Knight taking a lot of damage. Gargantuan is there to catch the Brightwing, but she's able to blink heal herself away. May is the one who gets gorged here in the backline. Vala trying to default away from the Dahaka, won't get away. May is going to get the root. Brightwing coming in. Will she get in? She does, but they're both within the zombie wall, but she gets the heal off anyway. It is 1 kill to none so far. TRSG coming away. The channel goes off. TRSG gets the channel. Here comes a Holy Word. Nicely timed. The interrupt is there, but he did save that Zool. And now the damage has returned. A big zombie wall onto the Mei with the Spiders, and it trades 1 apiece so far. Stitches gets the hook onto the Anduin, and that's going to be the end of it. 2 for 1, but more importantly, TRSG got 2 shots to 1. So there's now 20 to 16 And the numbers are getting low on these core. 114 stacks on the Nazebo so far, so not enough for the Voodoo Ritual at 20. But still has a little bit of time to get those stacks up higher. More than likely just going to go for the Gargantuan upgrade. Of note, this tower is so low, so it can be killed at any time by the side of Trash Pandas. And that will give them the 5-3 structure advantage, allowing them to negate the damage done to them when the opposing team gets the towers, but also accelerate their tower shots a little bit more. A little bit of a skirmish going on. Dahaka getting the better end of this deal so far. Also got the objective in the top lane, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3 minions all coming in. It is the solo objective down here in the bot lane. MBB coming in with the follow. Go Pandas. So got some Panda fans coming out in the chat right now. But the siege is on. Junkrat left. That means the objective is going to be picked up by the Trash Pandas here. Pretty much uncontested. And that's a big pickup right around the objective. The hook goes out, doesn't catch anything. But a big Rain of Vengeance. They do get the displacement onto the Stitches. The Ice Wall catches the Anduin. Gonna have to get himself away. Does he have the Holy Word? Doesn't get it in time. That is a huge Riptire. Gets 2 kills, but Sylvanas is traded away, and Nazebo continued to get the damage. So Gargantuan evens this out and continuing to get a lot of value. Look at this Gargantuan Vala combo. Nazebo is going to be able to channel this off. Vala still continuing forward, gets the Brightwing, now chasing the Junkrat here. Junkrat gets to this place, gets the root onto the Vala, but she hasn't drawn tower aggro. Meanwhile, up there, the Zul and Nazebo are fighting. It's 4 for 1, or 4 for 2 so far. Thana, the remaining survivor, and Valyr's got to be very careful here. Dahaka can't finish them off and does get the kill. Got a little too aggressive with the vault forward here. The zombie wall with the spiders going to do a lot of damage, but Dahaka very scary with that ultimate, having the ability to regen his health a lot. But here comes the bleeds. Zul going to chase the zombie wall, actually going to catch Zul, gets the blow up from the Bone Prism and gets the kill. So it is a full 5-man ace. That is 5 shots in favor of the Trash Pandas. They have nobody on the map. Sylvanas the next one because these death timers are so long, and Nazebo's not the one you want alive because he can siege very quickly. Zul actually going to go up into the top lane. Nazebo already abandoning this, going to go help Zul. No, he's coming back. All right, going to come back, make sure that they get this objective. Now it's done, and that is 5 picked up. Looking for the 6 and maybe start the barrage, but Sylvanas going to go get the objective in the bot lane. But now they could just play Ring Around the Rosie with these towers. May going to try and get this stop, but she's got to be careful. The Stitches hook could be a very big problem. Oh, the zombie wall hits. May is stuck. Pops the passive already. That means she's not going to have the unstoppable available. The root goes down, but Anduin misses just barely. The siege is continuing though. Nazebo going to get a lot of this. The blue team did get the channel or the objective down in the bot lane. So the keep does get flipped back, so it is only going to be the 5 keeps. But Trash Pandas, again, slowly but steadily putting their foot on the gas. Everybody up from TRSG Knights in the mid lane. The defense is being called here from the Stitches. Nazebo gets the hook onto May. She does not have the passive available yet. Just around the corner for her. Vala able to get the channel in the bot. Thana getting fairly low, has to be careful. Doesn't have the ultimate. Did pop it, so healed. All that health right back. The keep was picked up by TRSG. This is a double altar phase coming in, so this could be game ending if Trash Pandas get both. They're for sure getting this bot one. Zul's just going to be able to go down and channel that, no problem. These have to get answered. They're not. So now the bottom one will just answer it because it is 5. And so TRSG have to get down to the bottom, and Stitch is going to be that wall that says, you shall not pass. Zul going to be all alone down here. Going to get the channel off. And this man just won the game for the Trash Pandas. GG's, both team. Well played coming out in game number 1. Trash Pandas coming away with the victory. Just like that, the Trash Pandas able to sneak this one. You saw it was kind of back and forth, but the Nazebo scaling just started to take off. And that's, you know, we said Nazebo can slowly transition, or I guess he does slowly transition, but his transitions a little bit faster now with these buffs going the spider build. So Nazeebo was able to provide enough value in the early game. Trash Pandas didn't fall too far behind and able to scale up and get that damage going into the late game. 82k damage coming in from the Nazeebo. Stitches was getting some of those hooks onto the squishier targets. You know, seemed to have an affection for Mei in the early game, but started getting all those squishy targets, getting the Brightwing a couple times, getting the Sylvanas a couple times. Able to get the Gorge special delivery to the back line. TRSG Knights, they look good in the early game, but it seemed to just, you know, fall apart. That huge fight over that middle double altar phase that went on forever was the turning point in this game, where Trash Pandas eventually came away with the win there, got the double tower shots, and it seemed at that point the Trash Pandas just started getting really comfortable and started really pressing their advantage with that double altar phase. Never really fell too far behind after that. Whereas TRSG Knights, we talked about how strong their early game was. Their early game definitely had the upper hand, getting Dahaka to come down, got a great rotation out of Thana in that early altar phase. Got the first few altars, got a couple kills too, had like, I believe, a 4-1 kill lead. But then Nazeebo just brought his team back and was able to get it back. 82k damage to the 55 done by Junkrat. Brightwing actually able to put a really big amount of healing here, getting the 85k healing. Zul only out-soaking Dahaka a little bit, partially due to the Junkrat was in the mid lane quite a bit. So Junkrat able to get some of that soak as well for their team. Throwing it over to the talent screen real quick for those who enjoy looking at these talents. Pretty standard builds coming out. Mei taking the spell power. The spell armor, excuse me, spell power. And then getting the cooldown reduction at 13 with it. Going with a cooldown reduction as well with the blizzards. Upgrading the ice wall at 20. Sylvanas going for the W build, so the armor shred, trying to give a little bit more extra value to the Junkrat there. So both, you know, being able to shred the armor is just going to allow Junkrat to do that much more damage. Although the majority of Junkrat's damage does come from spell damage, but still going to be able to let Sylvanas do a lot with the auto attacks and the Qs. Junkrat going to be able to do a lot as well. Nazeebo, pretty standard spider build, actually committing fully to the spider build. Every single spider talent picked up. So we'll go in with the standstill and W, the scythe build. Curse Strike, just continue to stand there and heal himself up. And then Vala, pretty standard stuff. Didn't glow the gloom due to the fact that they're, you know, Junkrat did have a lot of spell damage, but that was the main source of fear was out of the Sylvanas. So just going to go with a little extra healing potential. A little burst healing too. Taking the Vault upgrade at level 20. Overall, pretty good game. Definitely not disappointed with game number 1. A lot of fun coming out from these two teams. Still kind of hanging out, waiting to see where we go for game number 2. Both these teams, you know, it will be up to TRSG Knights to choose. Do they want first pick, first hero pick, or first map pick? And then once they choose that, it'll be up to Trash Pandas to, you know, either pick a map for us to go to or be like, cool, we get first hero pick here. Remember, TRSG Knights were the ones that did pick that map. And so Trash Pandas did execute just a little bit better. So maybe this is one of those series where the team that picks the map loses the map. But the team that gets first pick ends up winning. Those are always weird. But I've seen it in best of 5 series where every single team that picked the map lost the map. So it's like, feels bad. It's like, yeah, I think we want to take him here. Whoops. Okay, no, we didn't. Definitely been on the receiving end of that curse a couple times myself. Everybody just slowly creeping in. Now it's more along the lines of when I usually start casting. So people are crawling themselves in, being like, oh, hey, we got another late game cast going on here. Always love to see it. Kind of waiting to see where these two teams elect to to go here. But looking at some of these maps we got left, Battlefield of Eternity, my favorite map. Like, just love that map. Nothing bad can be said from me about Battlefield of Eternity. And then you got Braxis Holdout. I could say loads of bad things about Braxis Holdout. I do not shy away from talking about Braxis. Sky Temple's still available too, and I haven't seen a Sky Temple. I haven't cast this Sky Temple game this map season. I know they're out there still. Some teams have picked them up, but Sky Temple's still available. Well, Sky is still available. Kind of the similar-ish to Towers of Doom in the fact that the game usually goes pretty late. Doesn't usually end before 20. Actually, I honestly can't remember the last time I saw a Volskaya game end before level 20. Then Dragonshire still available as well. Kind of a classic map. One of the OG maps. So we'll see which one. Oop, just got the lobby invite. So we are going to go to Battlefield of Eternity. And it is going to be the TRSG Knights that send us here again. So TRSG Knights got the choice between first pick and map pick. And they chose to get map pick yet again. Meaning, oh. And so we are still holding on. To get everybody into this lobby. And yeah, I'm sorry, we got all sorts of weird stuff going in the lobby right now. I don't know what's going on in here. Trying to figure it out. I don't know. But still waiting for a few Trash Pandas to get in here. Everybody from TRSG is in the lobby. So Battlefield of Eternity. I mean, like I said, I can't say enough good things about Battlefield of Eternity. It's my favorite map in Heroes. Has so much potential with the draft phase. So many different ways you could play it. You can go for team fight. You can go for burn. You can go for siege. You can go for split push. And by split push, I don't mean like, you know, we're gonna split push a 2-lane map when, you know, we're in the lane phase. No, I mean when the objective is online, you give somebody, you get a good defense, 4-man defense, and you get somebody who's got a lot of siege potential like Zool, Sonya, somebody like that, and just say, you know what? You sit in the lane, Asmodan, Zagara. You sit in the lane, you just push, and we'll keep them here. And we'll just try and dismount them and do a little bit of a chase, but not really commit hard to an engage and let you get away, and then just keep doing that. And sometimes it throws teams for an absolute loop. I've seen it quite a bit, especially in the higher divisions when they can pull it off. It is such a fun thing to see when a team goes for like the split push comp on Battlefield of Eternity. You're like, what? Why are you going for a split push comp on Battlefield of Eternity? It is a very large map, even though it is only a 2-lane map. But for the most part, most teams tend to just favor going for the race. Let's get as much race as we can and just burn this Immortal down. But we'll see how these two teams elect to fight. Nazebo definitely can come out again on this map. Doesn't have the race potential as much as he, you know, has the siege potential like on a map like Towers of Doom. But now we might see focus in the bans and picks into the race champions. So start seeing Raynor, Greymane, Artanis, Li Ming again. I mean, Li Ming could be seen on either of these two maps. But here we go. Battlefield of Eternity coming in. Hot off the press. And each team's going to pick the same exact way. Trash Pandas get first pick. TRSG Knights wants that last pick. Going to be able to counter whatever lane. If they want to get a good matchup in the top lane, they can get it here. They'll get to see the entire composition coming out of Trash Pandas before they have to pick that top laner. But they can also hold on if they've got like some sort of cheeky thing in their back pocket. Murky on Battlefield of Eternity? Sergeant Hammer? We'll see. I've seen all sorts of crazy stuff coming out on Battlefield of Eternity. It could be lots of fun. Trash Pandas taking their time here. Got to be a sign that they're changing something up, right? Absolutely not. Gonna ban the Chromie again. Don't want to see the Sand Gnome coming out from TRSG Knights. But the Vala gonna get banned out this time. Don't want to see her coming through. Good race champion, has the Hungering Arrow. Not going to be able to be seen on Battlefield of Eternity. Played last game by the Lyra. Now Trash Pandas get to choose their second ban. They could set themselves up for getting either the Brightwing or the Nazebo if they wanted to. You know, Brightwing I'd put more value on than Nazebo on this map. Gonna ban the Li Ming out. So a lot of mage focus coming in here from Trash Pandas. Not a lot of good burn mages left, honestly. Jaina not okay. There goes the Nazebo. So Asmodan available, Brightwing available, Greymane available. There's the burn coming out of Trash Pandas. Cortizel again, not waiting a second and instantly picking up that Greymane. Did that with Nazebo last game, doing it with the Greymane here in game number 2. But Brightwing's still there. I love Brightwing. If you couldn't tell, Brightwing is such a strong champion right now. Has so much playmaking potential, can really carry a lot of these fights for your team. And Cherry-Glue gonna run it again. Take 2 on the Brightwing, and Howlin' Knight picks up the Zul'jin. Looking for the stacks. I love the green skin too. Green skin Zul'jin's probably my favorite Zul'jin.
Our time has come.
Diablo and Artanis picked up here. So we got a lot of race coming out from the side of the Trash Pandas. Diablo going to be one of those excellent champions to get in and get a lot of that engage. Stukov going to get banned out here by the side of TRSG Knights. And now we're going to go ahead and wait and see what this last ban. I mean, I would look at a Johanna ban. You've got all this auto attack. Artanis, Greymane. You want to get rid of blinds. They did play Mei last game, so you get rid of Mei too. In my mind, Johanna, okay, great. Garrosh gonna be the focus. Well, not a bad, because Diablo likes to dive in, and if you dive into a Garrosh, he could just throw you further back. Be like, get back there. So, you know, Diablo, not a bad ban on the Garrosh. But Johanna has so much defense potential. Can blind the Greymane and the Artanis. And if she picks up the level 1 to get the double blind, can really lock them down on the burn for quite a while, so Zul'jin can get a little bit off himself. It's going to be the Mei instead of the Johanna. Still has blinds with the Q, so going to be able to do it. Doesn't have as much blinding potential, but has a lot of crowd control built into her kit. And then Thana going to pick up the Leoric here. Look for some of these entombs onto the Greymane. Maybe even catch the Diablo in the later game. Zul'jin should have enough damage to rip through that Diablo. But they didn't save their offlane for the counter matchup. So that means they didn't need to. They already saw the Artanis. So they can save their matchup. Something else. Jaina picked up. Haven't seen a Jaina on Battlefield of Eternity in a while. And Lily being picked up by Cyan. Getting the blinds for the Zul'jin. So they have a double blind coming out of the Artanis and the Lily to keep Zul'jin stacks under control. Got a lot of magic damage. So we're going to see the final pick coming out. I'd really love to see something that can really disrupt the backline here. Or, okay, Orphea. Orphea can put down a lot of damage if they can land the crowd control with the Mei Leoric. Leoric getting the Entomb, just putting the Eternal Feast onto the Entomb target. Lily's not going to have the best healing for that. She doesn't have the burst healing. So going to be able to really punish through that that healing potential. Or Orpheus going to be able to punish that lack of healing potential coming out of the Lily. But there you have it. Game number 2 underway. Trash Pandas leading 1-0 so far in the series. TRSG Knights looking for that reverse sweep. Trying to get those points, get themselves into that number 8 slot. Both these teams still have playoff aspirations, looking to get as many points as they can to get themselves up a couple spots in the ranking. And I mean, the burn for sure is in favor of Trash Pandas. So we'll see what TRSG Knights are able to do to counteract that burn. But let's get these two teams introduced. On the blue side, we got TRSG Knights. We got the Duke on May. We got Cherry Glue on the Brightwing, Howland Knight on the Zul'jin, Pink Blackout on the Orphea, and Thana up here looking flashy in that gold armor on the Leoric. Meanwhile, on the red side, we've got the Trash Pandas. We got Gigi Valier on the Jaina. We got Cortezal sitting on the Greymane, Xenozender on the Diablo, Cyan on the Lily, and up in the top lane, we got Xenia on that Artanis. Pulling up these talents. Artanis going for the amateur opponent. Gonna get that extra % damage. Diablo actually getting a little bit of spell armor. Gonna be able to use the spell armor to survive against the Orphea damage. Like it. Good pickup there. Jaina gonna get some globes. Lily going for the healing brew. Greymane actually going for the cocktail at level 1. Could this be a poke Greymane? Cocktail Greymane coming out? Oh man, I can't remember the last time I saw one of those. I'm excited. Let's see what he does at level 7 here, but Diablo gonna go in, flip the Mei around. Meanwhile, on the side of TRSG, pretty standard, honestly, across the board. Orphea is gonna go for that on point. So, gonna go for that extra damage at max range. But outside of that, pretty standard stuff. Mei going for the reduced cooldown at level 1 for the blind, which she wants against the burn. Oh, a big stun on the Jaina. Orphea putting down the pain. Polymorph is down, and Zul'jin, actually it was Brightwing that picked it off and was able to get the killing blow. But a huge pick by the Mei there. TRSG drawing first blood in game number 2. Immediately rotating down, going to start picking up this objective in the bot lane. Jaina gonna have to walk herself back, so there's no way they're gonna be able to contest this. Trying to get in on the Mei. Diablo's gotta be a little careful. Gonna take some damage here. Mei gets the knockback. Diablo gets the stun. Zul'jin putting down some pain. Polymorph down, crushing jaws as well, and Diablo gonna go down. So a big all-in engage coming out from TRSG Knights, off to a quick 2-0 start in the kills. Trash Pandas falling a little bit behind so far, almost a full level in experience. We are going to be able to put down the pain onto Artanis in the top lane as well, has the sustain advantage. So this bot lane is where Trash Pandas need to get their advantages. But Orphea can just play so safe and then just flip the switch when she needs to. Zul'jin sitting currently on 4 stacks, going to continue to try and stack himself up here. A little bit of skirmish. Thana, oh, gets the swap. Thana gets the drain. Artanis trying to get the damage down. Goes back to fighting. Here comes Brightwing to the rescue. Gonna try to get the kill. Doesn't, but Greymane has now arrived as well. So has Diablo. It is a full-on invasion here in the top lane. Artanis is gonna get the objective here. Thana and Cherry Glue have to back off, but TRSG Knight gonna pick up their objective. They're gonna get it quick. They could potentially set up. They know everybody, where everybody is on the map, but they're gonna get themselves topped off for full mana. Artanis gonna have to go to the bot lane to deal with this siege coming in. It looks like Jaina's gonna go down. Jaina's not bad. She got a lot of wave clear. But the burn is on. Never mind, not gonna go to the bot lane. Gonna try and win the halftime show and then go get the soak. And they are winning this halftime. Look at this Immortal just burn. And that is the race advantage that the Trash Pandas got for themselves. But now the fight is on. Everybody backing out. Jaina now gets down. Only a tower falls so far. Leoric not able to do much so far in this top lane, so that is now a little bit of advantage going over to the Trash Pandas. They don't want to heavy engage quite yet. Need Artanis to get up here. Gigi Valier sitting very low on the mana. The resources are a bit low. Mei low as well. Artanis getting in. Greymane looking to dive in. The blinds have been thrown out by Lily, so now the blinds are over. Artanis jumping in. Now has to jump himself out. But they're just continuing to commit to this Immortal burn, even though all 5 members from TRSG are here. Or 4, excuse me. Zul'jin's not here. They are getting fairly low, but they do pick up the Immortal. Nobody dead yet. Diablo probably will fall. Will Artanis as well? No, so it's just one. And this is about a half shield Immortal, little less. Gonna go into the top lane here. So the experience starting to close the gap a little bit. But this Immortal has nobody behind it to push except for Greymane, so that Immortal is gonna just get shredded. Zul'jin gonna just be able to tear this thing apart. Greymane throwing the cocktails out, does have the extra damage, so that is it. The Immortal gets a fort, a tower, excuse me. Jaina gonna get rooted out here. Big damage going down. Brightwing immediately teleporting in, and a 4th kill coming over for the Knights. 4-0 in kills so far, so they're doing an excellent job of getting these picks. Trash Panda is just getting that Immortal, but unfortunately not able to do anything with it. Greymane did get the cocktail at 7, so looking to get that magic number 15 to get that cooldown reduction. Sitting at 1 so far. Man, I haven't seen a cocktail Greymane in forever. This is kind of exciting. I want to see if he gets to 15. That's my favorite part. 47 souls on the Diablo, going for the W build, so just going for sustain, not bad considering it's really difficult to get the auto attacks off against the side of TRSG Knights. Got another little skirmish going down here. Jaina is on the way. Swap does land, Brightwing coming in, and so now Thana trying to get back on the point, but the objective is eventually picked up. The siege camp going over to the Trash Pandas. Jaina committing mostly to this cube. Oh, big damage going down onto Leoric, and there you go. Trash Pandas get their first kill in this game. All 5 members committed though, so TRSG have 3 members with the siege camp in the top lane. They are going to be able to siege this thing out. Trash Pandas coming in as 4. They're going passive even though they have the number advantage. Jaina not going in, so they could easily engage here. Diablo wants to. They look for the fight. Brightwing going to teleport herself in, and everybody just backs themselves off. Saving it for the Immortals. 10's right around the corner for the side of TRSG. Not quite there for the Trash Pandas. And in to this fight we go. Everybody kind of just grouped up, waiting to fight. Artanis is going for the Blade Dash build. Going to be able to scale it out here. There goes that. Look at that damage. Greymane up to 14 stacks. Starting to put down some pain with this cocktail build. Cherry getting flipped all the way in. The damage is down, but she survives barely. It's a 4-man stun in the backline. So this is going to be 2 kills going over for the Knights. They get the 2 kills somehow. Brightwing was able to survive that. And the 10s are now picked up for the side of TRSG Knights. It's the Bleak Heal by Brightwing, Icefall by the Mei, Eternal Feast by the Orphea, Taz Dingo by the Zul'jin. It's going to be the Entomb by the Leoric, and there it is. Chu King coming in with the follow. Thank you so much, Chu King. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a fun time here. Coming to the first time chat. I missed it. What's trash? I don't know what that's in reference to. The Pandas. The Trash Pandas are, you know, it's in their name. 10's now online for the Trash Pandas. Pulse picked up by Artanis. The Throat Rip by Greymane. Fire Breath by Diablo. The Jugs by Lily. And the Ring of Frost by Jaina. They are really committing to this just blow them up target. Huge engage coming down on their 10s. Doesn't even get the Pulse Beam off. There is the Ring of Frost landing onto 2. The Blind goes down, but the Eternal Feast thrown onto the Diablo doesn't hit because he was in the Ice Wall. It turns around with the Fire Breath trying to get the damage to go down. That is the counter play to the Dirty Bathtub. Or, you know, if he gets caught, he's just like, you know what, I'm stuck in here. I'm just going to throw fire back at you and make sure you don't come in. But a little bit of not, you know, necessarily lining up the ultimates the way they wanted to on TRSG. Greymane actually getting caught out here. Going to go down. And so that is a kill again. 8-1 in kills. TRSG getting a lot of kills. But the side of Trash Pandas continuing to try and keep this game even. Got the first fort. Used the siege minion in the top lane. The Immortal eventually does go down in favor of TRSG, so they get their first Immortal of the game. Only the second Immortal picked up so far. We'll see what they can do with it. All ultimates are available, but Leoric in the top lane looks like he's going to rotate down into this bot lane here. Maybe try to set up a play around this Immortal. Our Pandas is not here, has the global. That's all he's really going to be able to provide. He should be calling out that Leoric is not there, so the team should be playing a little bit carefully. Worried about a potential flank coming up here. Leoric did go back up to the top lane. Diablo gets the flip, but doesn't get the charge because of the polymorph. Greymane continuing to try and burn down. Ring of Frost coming in, lands onto 3 targets, but the instant cleanse onto the Zul'jin. Lily throwing down the jugs, the flame breath being thrown out, or the lightning breath, excuse me. Even though it's fire, it's called lightning breath. And that fort is picked up, and that is all TRSG wants. Gonna back themselves off. Second Immortal gonna go down. And it's pretty even as far as map pressure goes, but kills 8-1 in favor of TRSG. Here comes a rotation up onto the Leoric. Artanis does land the swap, the Unstoppable spot, but he's going back into the team. Will he be able to get away? Greymane jumps in, gets the double swipe. The hunt is on. He's still alive. The danger pings are coming out. He gets the drain, and now here comes the rest of the Knights trying to find the counter engage. Aren't able to find it. The Cocktail able to do about quarter health to the back line. Meanwhile, Cheriglu gonna get some pressure in the bottom with Brightwing. Get some of that global pressure. That sweet, sweet experience. Now the siege camp being picked up in the top lane by the side of TRSG Knights. Maybe pick up the top keep, top fort. But all 5 members from Trash Pandas are here. It's a 5-on-5 so far, but Leoric has left. The swap goes down. Pink blackout, excuse me, has been picked up. Here comes the combo. Ring of Frost doesn't land, but the Eternal Feast still landing onto Diablo. Greymane actually walks into it, so it's still continuing to go. Cheriglu getting fairly low. The swap does not hit on the second attempt. So that is a kill going over for the Trash Pandas. Leoric did go to the bot lane to get some of the soak, but that does close that experience gap ever so slightly. And more importantly, it's a 9-second death timer still on Orphea with this first objective coming online. They are focusing on picking up the camp quickly. It has been providing them a lot of value. Then they can go onto the burn. They are a little behind on the burn, but they should be able to delay for the second half of this objective and let that top lane continue to push. That lane is pushed very far out. So far, TRSG winning the halftime show. But everyone on Trash Pandas looking like, oh, nope, they're going to go for the burn. And this is where the fight is. They need to delay for that top camp. Now Leoric is going up, so now they can burn. Oh, nope, Leoric is back. The pressure pulse going down. The ice wall not connecting, but Artanis flipping. There goes the Entomb. It catches the Artanis. The stun goes down. Here comes the Eternal Feast, and it is getting a lot of value. Everybody running into it now gets knocked away. Actually, the Immortal saved everybody, knocked them all out of the Eternal Feast. It is a kill onto the Zul'jin. The fight continues in the back line. Diablo gets the flip, and that is Orphea going down as well. So 2 pickups by the Trash Pandas here. So far, nobody dead. All health bars are fairly low, but they will pick up this Immortal, and in the top lane, the Siege has gotten a fair amount of work done on these forts, on these towers here. So big pickup by the Trash Pandas, again, showing signs of life here in the mid game. And gonna start sieging up this bot lane. Artanis is here. He has a lot of pushing power with that amateur opponent pickup at level 1. If they can keep this Immortal fairly healthy, they're gonna get a pretty big push. Leoric is on his way down. They got the second fort. Now looking for some keep siege. Leoric is here, has the Entomb available, can look for the flank play. But the rest of the team not really wanting it. 16s are now online for Trash Pandas. They can look to press their advantage here if they can find the right target to do so. The Immortal's still super healthy, just now losing its shield, so they can get in behind this thing and siege up this keep. Looks like that's what they want to do. Artanis is getting the message. They do get the stun and flip onto the Leoric, but a huge ice wall, 3-man ice wall. This is where you want to drop that combo. The Entomb goes down. The Eternal Feast is getting a ton of value. Lili trying to get the heals. The Ring of Frost actually catches one. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Diablo does go down. The keep falls to the Immortal. So they ultimately get the prize, but that was the combo landed by TRSG Knights. Gets 3 caught in the Entomb, gets the Eternal Feast. So they're able to turn it around, get 1 kill in favor of themselves. But the Trash Pandas continuing to get map pressure. Get the bottom camp. Experience is pretty much even though there's a 5-kill advantage going over to the Knights. The Trash Pandas have evened up this game with the structures. And they are doing very good at rotating as 5. They don't have Artanis here. Still trying to respawn. But they're going to make a play for this top camp. Orphea not here as well. So right now it would be a 4v3. Brightwing could teleport herself in, but the camp has already been picked up by the Trash Pandas. Leoric just getting some vision on the Diablo. Not getting a lot from the drain onto the Lord of Terror. Artanis is in the bot lane, matching up against the Brightwing, so it's just going to be a disengage coming out. And Trash Pandas looking to just continue to press their advantage around these Immortals. Aside from that second Immortal, they have done a very, very good job playing around these Immortal objectives. And now looking again to catch Leoric here. Will they be able to catch him? Greymane committing. Diablo has the flip available, gets the charge, gets the flip. Brightwing is here, doesn't have the return. He committed fully to the W build on Diablo, so there is no return flip. This is a big ice wall. The Ring of Frost in return. The Eternal Feast going down, but they don't have the Entomb. Now the Entomb catches, and that is a big Entomb at the last second. 1-for-1 trade so far. Zul'jin did not get his Tazdingo off. Greymane continuing to put the damage down, use the throat rip, but I think the disengage, well, maybe not. Jaina's getting quite a bit of damage down. Artanis is the next to fall. Jaina out of position, gonna get knocked back. Uses the ice veins, or the ice wall, and goes down. So it's 3 kills to 1 in favor of TRSG. Big fight for them. Now they're going to go set up and try to get some burn. Greymane is still alive, so he does have a lot of burn. Actually, this burn, since it is Zul'jin that died, it may be pretty even. Even though there's only 2 members online for the Trash Pandas, it is Greymane who will burn pretty quickly. What do you pick at 16? He did not get the increased attack speed at 16, so he's not going to be able to get a really, really fast burn, but he's still going to be able to, I mean, look, he was single-handedly winning it against 4 members. Diablo, you know, we'll give Diablo a slight nod, but, you know, realistically, that was all Greymane. So halftime show does go in favor of the Knights. They have 5 available. Camp is trying to be finished. Mei did scout it out, so if they want to look to engage here, they could. Diablo trying to get the knockback. Camp still a ways from being picked up. Is picked up now. Jaina on her way in. They could set up a defense. Artanis could get the suppression pulse to stop the burn. Mei throwing out the ice wall. Only catches Diablo. There goes the pulse. The Eternal Feast onto Diablo. That's the only target they caught so far, and he could just press 1 and get himself out of here. The return engages on. Brightwing getting low. Greymane able to get that kill. Orphea does not get the swap. Meanwhile, Diablo getting low. Turns around with the Fire Breath. Lili goes down, but the Lightning Breath does get the Leoric and the Zul'jin. The Tazdingo down a 4-for-1 so far, and Mei, the lone survival. Greymane, it's like, went on an adventure. He chased that Orphea down and is going to continue to get the pressure in the top lane. He will be able to get this. This is going to be the second keep falling. And everybody come in. These are long death timers. They could look to core race here. Jaina has to be very careful. Doesn't want to get caught. The health bars are a little low, but they've got a lot of minions. So if they could just play protect the minions, they may be able to end. Greymane and Artanis going to be the 2. Greymane putting it on quite a bit of damage. Cortizel very happy getting in here. And the core is called the Ice Wall. Goes down. Leoric is up in 3, but the core is absolutely melting. The root goes down, and that is going to be it. Game number 2. Going over to the Trash Panda and the series, the domination in favor of the Trash Pandas. How about that? Trash Pandas showing signs of life in the second half of this season. Coming out with the 2-0 domination victory and getting themselves them sweet, sweet 3 points. which will move them up to 6 points in total and vault them from 12th place all the way up into 10th. Only 3 points out from that number 8 seed that they're trying to get, and they've got a lot of matches left to do it in. 12 teams in the pool. They've only played 7, so 4 remaining matches, excuse me. So I have plenty of time to keep that pressure. Full Throttle coming in with the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hope you had fun watching this series. Coming in with the good job, Pandas. All caps. Super hyped for his team. Gotta love it. Gotta love the Pandas coming in here and getting that win. Huge, huge victory coming in for them. I gotta message our captain, see if we can get an interview here. Where, oh where, is my captain's list? There it is. C West, captain of the Trash Panda, is going to be GG Valera. See if we can get any sort of interview set up here. Death Punisher, I got too excited. Math hard. GG's Trash Panda. Oh, love to see it. Love to see it. Death, it's because you're in Australia. Math is just way too difficult. Come back. Come back. That's all I got to say. Counting kangaroos, just too difficult, man. Still waiting on our captain from the Trash Pandas to see if we'll get that interview. While we wait, I can check out some of these stats over here. Orphea putting out quite a bit of damage. 73k, the most in the game. Meanwhile, Greymane able to put down quite a bit of damage himself. And Greymane getting a lot of that burn value we saw in the late game. Brightwing again getting the major healing numbers, 103,000. Holy cow, that's a lot of healing out of Brightwing.
Hello, welcome.
Hello, welcome. Hello, hello. This is Cortez, or is it Cortezel?
It is Cortezel.
Cortezel, the Greymane slash Vala, right? You played Vala game 1? Nazebo, that's right. GG played the Vala. Nazebo, the Greymane Nazebo extraordinaire coming in. Congratulations on the 2-0 domination. How's the team feeling right now?
Feeling pretty good. We've had a rough couple of games so far. I think the teams that we've been put against have been extremely evenly matched, so it kind of put us in a damper spirit to lose a few games, but I think we pulled it together this time and we played stuff we're comfortable on and it worked out.
Yeah, it's a workout indeed. I definitely think that was the understatement of the night, coming in with that domination. I mean, going into this number 12 seed, nothing to lose. You said, had a couple bad matches, but you knew the points are still there. You got plenty of time to turn this thing around, and what a better way. I mean, how did you guys prepare for this series going up against a team like TRSG Knights?
I think we definitely bolstered our draft quite a bit. I think we realized in a lot of those even matches where we ended up losing by just a couple fights, it really came down to 1 or 2 crucial picks. So I think we really tightened up a lot of the 2 and 3 picks that we wanted to pick out for our comp, like Diablo Jaina, Diablo Greymane, etc., things like that. And I think that we were able to hone in on things that worked out better for us in draft, and that ultimately gave us a better feeling.
Yeah. So, making those small tweaks, and, the draft phase seemed to work out fairly well for you guys. We're looking at that first map. Towers of Doom kind of comes out as one of those just really wonky, always has the comeback potential focus. And you guys, the Nazebo is open. Was the strategy from the get-go, let's see if we can get Nazebo, and if they give it to us, we're just locking it in? Because I don't think you hesitated a second before you locked that thing in.
No, I didn't. We were like, okay, we'll see if they're going to trade Nazebo or Vala for one of the band picks. And then they were like, no, we're just scared of these comfort picks. And I was like, well, I mean, I know we're supposed to play stuff we're super comfortable on, but there's no reason to not just free pick Nazebo and Vala. So we figured we'd go for it, or we did.
Yeah,
we figured Nazebo's higher priority than Vala just because Vala's a little bit squishier,
Sure, but I mean, when you can get both, it's like, hey, why not? Kind of deal. End up getting
Exactly, when
both
Rain's
the
a force.
Nazebo and the Vala, and then we see the Stitches Anduin come out. Now, my curiosity was the play always trying to get this kidnap comp, grab the Stitches with the Anduin, yeet, pull them back in the back line. We noticed there was the Salvation pick over the Light Bomb pick for the lockdown. Was that what was the decision behind going for the Salvation? It's more curiosity than anything else.
No, absolutely. We think that's a really, really good combo, especially when you can pull off the trait on the Stitches. But more than anything, it really focuses your tank and healer into locking down one person and kind of zones them into the fight, and they're kind of tunnel visioned.
Hmm.
So by allowing Salvation to be up, it lets Stitches play in the front line a little bit more and let people play around the Anduin without feeling too scared or feeling like if they get caught out, that's the end of the comp.
Okay, so yeah, it's instead of putting all your eggs in one basket, we're spreading them out, giving Stitches a little more freedom to be like, hey, if I want to be a little more aggressive, I can, and not really hone in on this pick thing. Which ultimately, that first half of the game, Nazeebo had to ramp himself up, Vala had to scale herself up, so it didn't go as well as Trash Pandas probably wanted. But then we get to that marathon of a fight over that middle objective. I mean, just run me through that. Ultimates were burnt and came back up and burnt a second time. Like, what went through and how did you guys sustain through that marathon of a fight?
Yeah, we had at least two calls to like just back off and give it to them. But I think I was probably one of the people that was like, hey, every time I throw a Q on somebody, they just walk away from this objective. So I don't know if they're gonna have the whole team here to defend it. And so they're like, okay, well we'll try to be up, but if they come in, just leave, just leave. And ultimately we didn't have to. Like one by one, we trickled in like the lemmings and just went straight through mid lane and just kept going until we face rolled them.
Yeah, I mean, it was nuts. I was trying to catch all the action and call it out, and one time I'm like, I just don't know what's going on anymore. Both of these teams have just been. I literally think everybody visited both objectives at one point in that fight. Like every single person, it was chaos. But you guys come away with it, and it felt like that was the turning point. Like Trash Pandas kind of just gained some momentum from winning that fight, and then how did you guys just decide you wanted to close out that game?
Ultimately, the bot lane push for sure. Once we went up from even footing into having any kind of advantage, it was, hey, we have a way better siege than this team. They're just trying to push us off of this, so let's just go run it down a lane and see what we can do. And then sure enough, you set up the dominoes for the 6 cap, and yeah, you never get the full 6 cap, but when you make them play ring around the rosy with top and bot, it just makes it that much easier to keep the objectives alive for you.
Yeah, so Ring Around the Rosie was definitely called several times during that map, and it looked like you guys were comfortable doing that, getting the objective, the pressure just started thinning itself out, ultimately getting the full ace, I believe it was, and that kind of was the nail in the coffin that wound up game one. So end game one, get the win. Game two comes around, they take first hero pick, so you guys get, they take map pick. You guys get first
Yeah.
hero pick yet again and they take you to Battlefield of Eternity. Was that ever on the radar? Were you guys like, hey, we think they're gonna give us first hero pick again, or was it like, oh, okay, we're fine taking first hero pick a second game in a row?
No, we usually adapt our strategy to being second pick just because so many teams rely on that first pick to kind of get something rolling for their comp.
Hmm.
So we kind of planned for either situation, but ultimately they said, hey, we want to take you to somewhere we feel comfortable. So we said, okay, we'll take the first pick and see what you're going to prioritize. Do you want to give us Nazeebo Vala again? Are you going to ban our comforts or what's it going to be?
Sure. So you guys come out with fairly similar ban strategies here in game number two, but they completely changed around, banning out that Nazebo and Vala both in this game number two. So how did you guys decide to approach the draft phase here in game number two?
Definitely. We wanted to prioritize race because too often we miss one or two crucial race picks on BOE, and that usually does the nail in because one person on the enemy team can leave and kind of cap that immortal for us, and we tend to lose the objective. So in this
Sure.
case, we said, let's take the gray main, let's take the highest, caliber DPS we can for this immortal that can also clear camps, and we'll see what they pick in response. We love Diablo in our comps. We use that quite a bit, and so Diablo gray main is just a match made in heaven.
Yeah, and so you see the combo coming out. You guys get the race. You definitely have the race priority out of this matchup, but you see the combination come out of the Leoric Orphea, Eternal Feast, and Tomb. You knew what they were going to try and do, set it up with the ice wall. So how did you guys kind of play around that? And ultimately, you had a little bit of a hiccup in the mid game, but outside of the mid game, or I guess in the early game too, it was kind of all TRSG Knights for a while there, and then a flip kind of switched. And what do you think that flip was for your team that ultimately turn this game on its head and ultimately Trash Pandas come away with another win?
Definitely. I think ultimately the race was definitely what did them in the most because at the end of the day, like we can just keep pressure on the objective and they have to move off of theirs trying to race against us and play into a defensive position. But on top of that, we had way snappier kills. Like their wombo combo is insane. If they get that off, that's a 5-man wipe. But all we need is just one or two heroes to be in the right spot at the right time to get a quick pick, and that's the end of their comp for them or the end of the wombo.
Yeah, so and I have to ask, 'cause everybody was talking about it in chat, and I was just really curious. I haven't seen it in a long time. The cocktail Greymane build. Just talk us through why you decided to pull that one out in this game, because like I said, I haven't seen it in forever. So I was super stoked to see it come out here.
Totally. It's definitely my number one favorite build. I've been playing it since like 2016. I love it to death. But more importantly, this game I saw that they had the May blind and that there was really no way that I could just freely dive in and get a bunch of autos off on people. So I said the best way for me to play this game is just poke them as many times as I can, slam them in the face with my cocktails, and then just try to jump one person and make that fight turn.
There you go. And that is the reason, everybody, for all those out there arguing amongst the Greymane build, don't want to deal with the blinds, just going to throw a bunch of cocktails in their face and say, dodge this, and ultimately coming away with the win here in game number 2. So last thing, or second to last thing, if you had to pick an MVP for your team for the series, who would you give it up to?
You know, that's a really tough question. I think I'd have to give it up to Zeno. He doesn't normally play tank all that often for us, and I think he really stepped it up and played the right amount of control and the right amount of aggression that we needed for both of our comps. In game 1, we needed a lot more control, and in game 2, we needed a lot more aggression, and I think he was able to flip the dial really easily.
Awesome. Yeah, it's always fun when you have a tank who can play both of those, mentalities, because it's really hard to make that transition sometimes. So going from a very passive frontliner to a very aggressive frontliner, you love to see that coming out in a game like this. Last things last, Cortez, I'm going to open it up to you. Any shout outs? You guys had a lot of fans coming in and out in chats. I saw a lot of let's go trash pandas. So the floor is yours. Any shout outs you'd like to give, take it away.
Totally. I mean, number one, I got to shout out my organization, Storm Gaming. We took a bunch of teams that have been really good friends for a while, and we banded together and made an organization. And I think that really worked out for us. We've got a lot of good resources. So shout out to all of the resources that we have to make us better. And more importantly, shout out to every single NGS team in our division that's helped us scrim or that's participated against us. We can't be at the caliber we are today without you, and we can't make the progression that we are without teams like that.
Awesome. Well, it's always fun being part of an org, getting all those scrims in there. Definitely the practice is starting to show off. Best of luck to you guys in the remaining 5 games I believe you have to get up into the playoff seed and then make your deep run into the playoffs. Thank you again so much for the interview, and congratulations on your 2-0 victory.
Oh, 1 second, Ice. My bad. I can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
There we go. I'm back. Sorry about that.
I was just saying, thanks again for joining me for the interview. That's kind of where I cut it off. So thanks for joining me for the interview. Good luck to your team for the rest of the season, and hopefully you make that deep playoff run here in the remaining weeks leading up to the playoffs.
Looking forward. Thanks so much for your time, Ice. I appreciate it.
All right, absolutely. Take care, bud.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was it. Valera coming in with the Cortizel MVP on Greymane. I mean, like I said, I was just excited to see the cocktail Greymane come out because I hadn't seen it in so long. I was like, yes, I want to see what this cocktail Greymane can do. And as Shuking said, throwing cocktails, never a bad idea. Throwing cocktails around, getting people a little tipsy, it's always a lot of fun. But got to give the shout-outs, people. A lot of support coming in tonight. You guys are awesome. Definitely appreciate all the support coming in. Real quick, got a shout-out again. Obelisk, MBB, Chew King, Full Throttle, Valera, Cyan Hots, Roll, and Zeno all coming in with the follows tonight. Thank you all so much for coming in. Hope you enjoyed yourself. This was an absolute pleasure to cast this series tonight. Lots of HOTS actions going down on this channel every week. Do a lot of storm casting over on the NGS main channel as well. So if you're not familiar with myself, I always send out a notification going live. Usually pick out the late game evening matches on the West Coast, since that's where I am currently located. But for tonight, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you all so much coming in. I'm going to look for somebody for us to go raid. I do have another cast coming your way tomorrow at 5:30. It's going to be Council of Mages going up against Council of War. So it's going to be the Battle of the Councils here. So you can come back, check it out tomorrow. That'll be a lot of fun. But for tonight, that is it. I'm going to see who is still going. I think my Jinxie cat is still going to be going loud and proud over on her channel, so let me double check to make sure she is still going before I send us on over. But thank you all so much. I will definitely find someone for us to raid. Have a fantastic night, everybody, and I will see you here next time. Take care, everyone.